Hello everyone. Welcome back to our Python programming full course. In previous lecture, we learned about expressions, statements, data types and type conversion. These concepts helps us in understanding how Python stores and processes data. Now, it's time to learn one of the most important concepts in programming, that is control flow statements. Imagine you are giving directions to someone. You might say, if you reach the traffic signal, turn left, otherwise go straight. Here, the action depends on the condition. Programming works in the same way. Sometimes we want our program to make decisions based on the certain conditions. This is where the control flow statement come into the picture. Control flow statements determine the order in which the statements of a program are executed. They help the program decide what to execute, when to execute, and how many times to execute it. So, students moving upon clearly with control flow statements. So, in control flow statements are of three types. First one is selection statement, that is decision making. Definition. Selection statements are used to choose one path among multiple paths based on a condition. Its types are if statement, if-else statement, if-elif-else statement, nested if statement. Second, iterative statements, that is looping statements. Definition. Iterative statements are used to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as specified condition is satisfied. Types: while loop, for loop, else clause with loops. Third, the loop control statement. Definition. Loop control statements are used to change the normal execution of a loop by terminating, skipping, or doing nothing in an iteration. Its types are break statement, continue statement, pass statement. So let's moving upon to selection statement. That is, first one is if statement. So let me give the syntax of if statement. Now, moving upon to if statement. The general syntax of if statement is if test expression statements. The if construct is a selective construct. The statements within the if block are executed only once when the condition evaluates to true. Otherwise, the control goes to the first statement after the if construct. In Python, the body, that is the block of statements of the statement, is indicated by indentation, and the first unit-ended line marks the end. Python interprets non-zero values as true. None and zero are interpreted as false. Here is a simple example to evaluate if-else statement. Let me move to the ideally Python in script mode. Let me show you. If 12 mod 2 double equal to 0, then print 12 is divisible by 2. Then give another print statement as print executed well. So now save the file, that is save as pro 7.py. So giving a file, that is, see here, 12 is divisible by 2 executed well. The outputs have been displayed. Now let us do a program, that is, hashtag program to check given number is divisible by 3 or not. So n is equal to int of input of enter a number. Sorry. If n modulus 3 double equal to 0, print number is divisible by 3. If n modulus 3 not equal to 0, print number is not divisible by 3. Quotes is closed, then parenthesis is closed. Now F5. Yes. So now enter a number. I am giving 9. The number is divisible by F5. When I give 12, it has been giving that the number enter a number, that is 12. Number is divisible by 3. So students, moving upon to next, that is if-else statement. So the general syntax of if-else statement, that is if test expression statement or statements, else statement or statements. This is has considered as body of if. Then after else, it has been considered as body of else. So the if-else statement provides two different paths of execution depending on the result of the condition. The body of if is executed when the condition associated with the expression is true. Otherwise, the body of else part is executed. Indentation is used to separate both the if and else block. So I am giving a program to you as seen as an example. Let us move to the ideally Python. Now, let me give the program, that is program to check whether a student got distinction or not based on marks. Let me start the program. N is equal to int of input of enter a mark. Enter the mark. Now, let us say distinction mark is equal to, sorry, mark is 70. If n double equal to distinction mark, let us give the underscore, print distinction, else print not distincted, not distinction. So students, let us run the program. That is F5. After that, enter mark, that is 60, not destination. So students, listen me carefully. That is, we have given a distinction mark that is as 70. So now I am entering the mark as 60. So we couldn't expect that the mark is less than the distinct mark. So it is not distinction. When if I give more than 70 or 80 or 90, you will get the result as distinction. So moving on to next, that is a problem. Let me read the question. A person wants to check the amount left in his bank account to buy a new shirt which costs 1000 rupees. Write a program to check whether the person can buy the shirt with the amount he has in his account. Take the amount as integer input from the console using input function. Follow the instructions while writing the program and print the output as shown in the example. If amount greater than or equal to 1000, print he can. Otherwise, print he can't. So let us do the coding together. So now students, we can start the coding. Program to check whether a person can get a shirt or not. Balance, that is bal variable is equal to int of input of enter a enter the balance. If val is greater than or equal to 1000, print he can. Else print he can't. So now let me give F5. So moving upon to if-elif-else statement, which is the general syntax has been given. That is, if condition 1, block of code, if condition 1 is true, statement 1, elif condition 2, statement 2, elif condition 3, then statement 3, then the else block, then the statement 4. So these are block of code of condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. So the if-elif else construct is used when we have multiple mutually exclusive expressions. If the condition of first if is false, then the condition for very next elif is evaluated, and so on up to the last elif. If all conditions are false, then the body of else is executed. Only one block among the if-elif else blocks is executed based on the condition. An if block can have only one else block but can have multiple elif blocks. Indentation is used for each of the if-elif else blocks. So, covering up to if-else, elif, if statement. Now I am going to give the program of if-elif-else statement in ideally Python. So see students, this is the example of if-elif-else block, that is to check the mark is greater than 90, which is printed as grade A, 75% greater than, that is grade B, the marks is greater than 60, that is grade C, the marks greater than 40 is grade D, else the student has been failed. So this is the code to give the grades of a student according to his mark. So let us execute, that is F5. Let me show you an example. My mark is 79 in my last slip test in my college. So where I got grade B. Let me show you in the interactive mode. So see student, this is my grade for my mark in the slip test. So can you write more codes with if-elif-else block? So next, moving upon to math case. The math statement in Python, introduced in Python 3.10 version, is used for pattern matching. It checks a value against multiple patterns and executes the code block for the first match. Think of it as a more powerful and flexible alternative to if-elif-else or the switch case from other languages. With the ability to match values, types, structures, and even add conditions, you need to be using Python 3.10 version or newer to use match case. It's a new feature not available in old versions. Kindly note this point. So let me give the syntax of match case is match expression case value 1 statement case case value 2 statement case value 3 statement case default then statement. So this is the code to check the day is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday or an invalid day. So let us run this code, that is F5. So enter on day number, that is 1 to 7. Let me enter 3, that is Wednesday. So if we enter out of 7, we will get the invalid day. So students, you can use match case instead of if-elif-else statement. So now moving upon to moving to while loop. A while loop is used to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as condition is true. First, condition is evaluated first. The loop checks the condition before executing the body. If the condition is true, the loop runs. If false, it stops immediately. Loop body executes only if the condition is true. Code inside the loop runs only when the condition is true. Python uses indentation to define the loop body. Condition is checked after every iteration. After each execution of the loop body, the condition is checked again. The loop continues until the condition becomes false. Loop stops when the condition is false. Once the condition is false, the problem continues with the code after the loop. Common pitfall. Infinite loop. If the condition never becomes false, the loop will run forever. Example, forgetting to update the loop variable, always make sure the condition will eventually becomes false. Then, now moving to the syntax of while loop. See, this is the syntax of while loop. That is while condition infinite statements. That is statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, it goes on. Then, moving to an example that is in ideally Python. Wait once again. That is count is equal to 1 while count less than or equal to 5. Print hello. Then count is equal to count plus 1. So F5 has been given. See, the hello has been printed for 5 times. So this is the work of while loop. So next moving on to see students, there is another example. Program to find the sum of all even numbers from 1 to n. N is num, int of input of num. That is taking an input from the user. I is equal to 1, s is equal to 0. Why we have given s is equal to 0 is to calculate the sum. Then I is the starting value. While I greater than or is equal to num if I modulus 2 double equal to 0. That is checking the number is even or not. If even, it does s plus 1, s plus equal to 1. Then I is equal to I plus 1. So the initiate value will be 2. So it goes on like up to the condition satisfied. Then the sum has been printed in the last statement. For loop. What is for loop? A for loop is a iterative looping statement used to execute a block of code repeatedly for a fixed number of times or to iterate over sequence such as a string, a list, a tuple, or a range. Syntax. For variable in sequence. Then statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, then it goes on to infinity. So next, I will show a example code for loop. That is, the example is where name is equal to Python. Then for loop is used. That is for ch in name. Print ch. So let me save and shall I run for you. See, the Python word has been printed in each and single line. That is P, Y, T, H, O, and N. So let me give another example. That is same as with numbers. See, here I have brought the for loop using numbers. That is sum is equal to 0. This program is for program to find the sum of first 10 numbers. So let me run it F5. So okay, sum is equal to the sum of first 10 numbers, that is from 1 to 10 is 55. So let me move to a question that is So now moving to a new topic, that is using range function in for loop. Definition. The range function is a built-in Python function used to generate a sequence of number. It is commonly used with the for loop to execute a block of code in a specific number of times. Syntax, that is range stop or else range start comma stop or else range start comma stop comma step value. First, moving to range of stop. Definition. When only one argument is provided, the sequence starts from 0 and ends with one number before the stop value. For example, for I in range of 5, print type. So, from starting with 0, it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, except 5 up to 4 it will be printing. Second, range of start comma stop. Definition. When two arguments are provided, the sequence starts from the start value and ends one number before the stop value. That is for I in range of 1 comma 6. That is print I. Next, the output will be like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 will be exempted. 3. Range of start, comma, stop, comma, step value. Definition. When three arguments are provided, the third argument specifies the step value. It determines how much the value increases or decreases in each iteration. For I in range of 2, comma 11, comma 2. So print I. So here the step value is given. So it's skip the all odd numbers up to 11. So it will print 2, 4, 6, 8, then 10 because 11 is exempted. I will show the example for negative stepping. That is for I in range of 10, comma 0, comma minus value. That is minus 1. So print I. Output will be from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, then up to 1 because 0 is exempted in negative step value. So program 1. For I in range of 1, comma 11, print welcome to Python. Let me run and show in ideally Python. See, see the for I in range of 1, comma 11, print welcome to Python. So let me run it. So see student, the welcome to Python has been displayed for 10 times. So see the output here. So now you got an idea about range function in usage of for loop. So next moving to the next topic, that is for loop with else. For loop with else. In Python, the for loop can be used with an else clause, which is a unique feature not found in many other programming languages. The else clause in a for loop is executed when the loop completes all iterations without encountering a break statement. It provides a way to perform additional actions or handle specific conditions after the loop has finished iterating. So let me give the general syntax and the example. Syntax for variable in sequence, then statement 1, statement 2, it goes on. Then if the for loop is not succeeding, then it moves to else block with statement 3. So now let me show the example in ideally Python. that is for I in range of 1 comma 6, then print I, else print loop completed successful. Let me run it. See students, the loop has been given the result, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma, then loop completed successfully. Then moving upon to the next topic. So before moving to the next topic, let me give an interesting program that is related to maths, that is multiplication tables. So multiplication table for x up to y rows, that is if y less than or equal to 20 for I in range of 1 comma y plus 1, print x, the star symbol, then I, then equal to, then x into I. If y is greater than 20, that is y is equal to 20 for I in range of 1 comma y plus 1, print x, then star, then I, then equal to, then x into 1. Print rows is limited to 20. In else part, print row is limited to 20. Let me run this. So see student, x is 2, then y value is varying from 1 to 3. So let me show in the ideal shell. See students, x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. Then the table has been printed from 1 to 3. That is second table has been printed. So moving upon to the next topic. Nested for loop. A nested for loop means placing one for loop inside other. The outer loop runs first, and for each iteration of the outer loop, the inner loop runs completely. Nested loops are often used when working with matrices, patterns, combinations, or multi-level data structures. So let me give the syntax and explain the parameters. The syntax is for outer variable in sequence 1, then statement 1. For inner variable in sequence 2, then statement 2, then statement 3. Then in the same line with the inner loop of for, that is statement 4. Then now the parameters. Outer variable, the variable used in the outer loop. Sequence 1, the sequence or range for the outer loop. Inner variable, variable used in the inner loop. Then sequence 2, the sequence or range for the inner loop. Statement, the block of code executed inside the both loops. Then now an example. So now the example is for I in range of 1 comma 4, then for j in range of 1 comma 4, then print I comma j. So let me run and show, that is F5. See student, the output has been displayed. Kindly note the nested for loop for your good understanding. Now moving to next part, that is to break statement. The break statement is used to immediately terminate the loop when a specified condition is met. After the break statement is executed, the control transferred to the first statement after the loop. The syntax is simply break. For I in range of 1, 11, if I double equal to 6, break, print I. So here the for loop works from 1 to 10, where the 6 has been checked with I, then if the 6 is equal to 6, then the iteration stops. So it prints from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Usage. Used to terminate a loop immediately. Used when the required result is found. Commonly used in searching and menu driven programs. Second, moving to continue statement. The continue statement is used for skip the current iteration of a loop and continue with the next iteration. Syntax is just giving a keyword continue. Example, for I in range of 1, 6, if I double equal to 3, continue, print type. In this for loop, it will check from 1 to 6. If I meets 3, if the condition is true, it will continue and print up to 6. But it will not print 3, but the loop continues. Usage. You can see the output in the screen. Usage. Used to skip specific values or conditions. Does not terminate the loop. Control moves to the next iteration. Then moving to the last part of this lecture, that is pass statement. Definition. The pass statement is a null statement. It does not nothing when executed and is used as a placeholder for future code. Syntax is just using a keyword pass. Example, for I in range of 1, 6, if I double equal to 3, pass print type. Here in this for loop, the for loop runs from 1 to 6, where if I value from 1 to 6 has been founded with and matched with 3, the loop passes, then prints the I. So here no value will be missing. It will print from 1 to 5 in a separate line. Another example, if true, pass. That means if 1 is given, that is in binary 1 is equal to true. So the pass has been given. Usage. Used as a placeholder for future code. Prevent syntax errors when a code block is empty. Can be used in loops, functions, classes, and conditional statements. Difference between break, continue, and pass. Break terminates the loop immediately. Continue skips the current iteration and continues with the next iteration. Pass does not do nothing and use as the placeholder. Important points. Break exits the loop completely. Continue skips the current iteration. Pass does not affect the execution of the program. Break and continue are used only inside loops. Pass can be used inside loops, functions, classes, and conditional loops. Before we conclude this lecture, here are some practice questions for you. Try to solve them on your own without looking at the answers and comment in the comment box. Some theory questions that are: what are control flow statements? Second, name the three types of control flow statements. Then, what is the use of if-elif-else statement? Then, explain three forms of range functions with example. Then what is a nested loop? That means nested for loop. What is the difference between break, continue, and pass statement? So then two programming questions. That is, write a program to check whether a number is positive, negative, or 0. Then write a program to print even numbers from 1 to 50. So thank you so much for watching lecture 2 part 2 of our Python full course. In this lecture, we have covered control flow statements, which helps us to control the execution of Python program. Then selection statements, including if-else, if-elif-else, match case statements. Then two iterative statements, that is while and for loop. Then moving to the jump statements, that is continue, break, then pass. If you found this lecture helpful, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming lectures. In the next lecture, we will continue the Python journey by learning more exciting concepts with practical example. So until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep coding. Thank you, and I will see you in the next lecture. Happy coding!